Let me tell you something they'll never teach you in school, something you'll never hear from the media, and definitely not from the people who want to keep you soft, broke, and obedient. The Matrix doesn't care about your potential. It wants your compliance. From the second you're born, they put you in a box. Go to school. Memorize what they tell you. Don't ask questions. Get a job. Take orders. Pay taxes. Stay quiet. Then die. That's the system. That's the loop. And if you don't wake up, you'll be stuck there forever. Working a job you hate. Living paycheck to paycheck, thinking that's all life has to offer. But let me ask you this. Who benefits from you being average? Not you. Not your family. They do. The ones selling you distraction, weakness, and dependence. The ones who say, don't work too hard, while they buy yachts. The ones who call ambition toxic, but praise mediocrity. You think that's a coincidence. They want you lazy, addicted, scared. Because a man who's strong, self-reliant, and financially free, he's a threat. Let's be clear, discipline is the new rebellion. While everyone else is binge, watching nonsense, you hit the gym. While they're complaining about life, you build. While they sleep, you grind. Why? Because you refuse to be a slave to the system. Comfort is the biggest lie they sold you. Comfort is where dreams go to die. You want a better life. Get uncomfortable. Wake up early. Train your body. Read like your mind depends on it, because it does. Start that business. Take risks. Fail. Learn. Try again. That's how you unplug. Nobody's coming to save you. You've got to become your own hero. This world respects results, not intentions, not wishes, results. So here's the truth the Matrix doesn't want you to hear. You are powerful, but only if you stop blaming others and start taking absolute responsibility. No excuses, no distractions, no weakness. The system is rigged against you. Good, let it be. That just means you've got to become even stronger, sharper, and more relentless. Unplug, rise, and become the one they fear. You're being conditioned to stay weak. And the most terrifying part, you don't even realize it. From the moment you're old enough to speak, you're being taught what to think, not how to think. You're fed with soft ideas, watered down opinions, and emotional comforts that numb you into submission. Society doesn't train you to be strong, resilient, or dominant. It trains you to be agreeable, quiet, compliant. Every time you choose comfort over growth, every time you give into laziness, every time you avoid conflict just to keep the peace, you're reinforcing the weakness they planted in you. Look at how the system is structured. They discourage aggression but glorify passivity. They shame competitiveness but reward mediocrity. If you're too masculine, you're labeled a threat. If you're too ambitious, you're told to calm down and be realistic. And if you push against the narrative, they call you crazy, arrogant, or dangerous. But let me tell you the truth they hide. You were born with power off. But they spend your entire life convincing you to suppress it. Why do you think junk food is cheap and everywhere? Why is social media designed to flood you with distractions and fake dopamine? Why is instant gratification shoved in your face at every corner? Because a man chasing quick highs never builds real strength. He gets addicted to ease. He loses his edge. And that's exactly what they want. A dull, dependent, obedient version of yourself that will never question anything. Never challenge the script. Schools don't teach discipline, they teach obedience. They don't teach financial independence. They teach how to be a cog in the machine. You sit still. You memorize what you're told. You regurgitate it on command. Then you graduate, take on debt, and get locked into a system where you trade your time for money. Just enough to survive, never enough to break free. And when you start to question it all, they throw fear in your face. Don't take risks, you might fail. Don't speak up, you might offend someone. Don't try too hard, you might burn out. All of it designed to keep you soft, scared, and small. You know what strength looks like? Waking up early when your body wants to sleep. Saying no to distractions when everyone else gives in. Taking full responsibility for your life, even when it's hard. Strength is earned. It's forged in silence, in discomfort, in discipline. And that's why they don't want you to pursue it. Because a strong man doesn't follow orders. A strong man doesn't wait for permission. A strong man doesn't live on his knees. And that terrifies the system. The world will try to sedate you with lies. They'll tell you that being average is noble, that being broke is honorable, that being soft is modern. But deep down you feel it, don't you? That fire. That voice that tells you this isn't what you were made for. That there's something more. That the strength is still in you. It's just been buried under years of conditioning. So dig it up. Face it. Build it. No one is coming to rescue you. You have to rise on your own. You have to strip away the weakness they wrapped around your mind. You were not born to be soft. You were not born to be ruled. You were not born to be silent. You were born to conquer. But only if you break free from the chains they've hidden in plain sight. The conditioning is real, but so is your ability to destroy it. Choose strength. Choose truth. Choose freedom. Comfort is the most dangerous trap, and yet it's sold to you like the ultimate goal. Every advertisement, every motivational quote twisted by weak minds, every piece of modern content tries to convince you that life is about ease, rest, and enjoyment. You're told to take it easy, slow down, treat yourself, and you deserve to relax, but nobody tells you the truth of comfort kills dreams. It dulls ambition. It rots discipline. It makes lions act like house cats. And once you start chasing comfort, you begin to slip into a life that's not yours. It becomes a slow, silent death wrapped in the illusion of safety. Think about it. Growth doesn't come from sitting on your couch or sleeping in. It comes from pain, pressure, and resistance. Muscles don't grow without strain. Minds don't sharpen without struggle. And men don't evolve without discomfort. Every meaningful achievement in history was born through suffering, whether it was physical, emotional, or mental. But instead of embracing this, society teaches you to avoid it at all costs. You feel a little anxiety and they call it a disorder. You get tired and they say rest for a week. You get rejected once and they tell you not to try again. That's not support. That's sabotage disguised as compassion. The truth is, real life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. That's where self-respect is earned. That's where confidence is built. When you push your limits and do what you hate to do like you love it, that's when you become unstoppable. But the Matrix doesn't want that. It wants you lazy. It wants you chasing dopamine hits, food deliveries, and short-term wins. Because the more comfortable you are, the more dependent you become. And dependency is control. A comfortable man is easy to manipulate. He won't rebel, he won't risk, and he won't rise. They've programmed you to think that struggle is failure. That exhaustion means you're broken. That if you're not smiling 24/7, something's wrong with you. But real warriors know pain is part of the process. Discipline isn't about feeling good. It's about doing what must be done, no matter how you feel. You don't need motivation, you need standards. And once you hold yourself to a higher standard, you'll start to feel alive again. Not entertained, not distracted. Alive, comfort whispers lies to you. It tells you tomorrow will be a better day, that you'll start working on your goals next week, that you'll make changes soon. But soon becomes never, and before you know it, years are gone. Nothing changed. You stayed in the same place, thinking you were safe, when in reality you were dying slowly inside the cage of comfort. That's the hidden danger. It doesn't destroy you all at once. It kills your edge in silence. If you want greatness, comfort has to die. You must get up when it's dark and cold. You must train when you're tired. You must work when you're uninspired. And you must learn to suffer with purpose. That's what separates the elite from the average. That's what turns men into warriors and warriors into legends. So every time comfort calls your name, ignore it. Every time your mind says, just this once, remember who you're trying to become. Because if you give comfort an inch, it will take your life. Embrace the pain. Pursue the discomfort. Train your mind to love the challenge. Because in the end, it's not the easy life that makes you proud. It's the hard one you chose to conquer. Freedom requires sacrifice and brutal honesty. That's something they'll never teach you in school, because true freedom makes you uncontrollable. And they don't want that. They want you domesticated, smiling while you're shackled. But freedom, real freedom, isn't about doing whatever you want. It's about earning the right to live on your own terms. That means building a life where no one has the power to tell you when to wake up, how to speak, or what to believe. And to reach that kind of life, you have to give up a lot of what weak people hold on to like it's gold. You want financial freedom. You'll have to sacrifice nights out, temporary pleasures, and the approval of average people. You want physical freedom, health, strength, energy. You'll have to sacrifice junk food, laziness, and the excuse of, I'm too tired. You want mental freedom, clarity, confidence, peace. Then you'll need to cut out toxic environments, weak relationships, and the lies you keep telling yourself just to feel good. Freedom costs. That's the truth. And most people aren't willing to pay it. So they stay trapped, not by force, but by choice. But the other half of this equation is even harder: brutal honesty. You cannot become free if you keep lying to yourself, if you keep pretending you're trying when you're not, if you keep blaming others for the life you created. If you tell yourself, I'm doing my best, but deep down you know you're half committed, distracted, and soft, then you'll never escape the prison you're in. Brutal honesty is painful. It makes you stare at your flaws. It forces you to admit that your life isn't where it should be, not because of bad luck, but because of bad choices. That level of self-awareness breaks most people. But if you're strong enough to handle it, it becomes the beginning of everything. It means looking in the mirror and saying, I'm not as disciplined as I should be. I've been wasting time. I've allowed weakness to run the show. And then fixing it, not crying about it, not making excuses. Fixing it. That's what high-level people do. They sacrifice comfort, they embrace truth, and they don't negotiate with weakness. They bleed now so they can live free later. And while everyone else is chasing fake happiness, they're building real independence. Freedom isn't found in slogans or social media posts. It's found in your decisions. It's built in the hours no one sees. It's built when you say no to distraction, no to compromise, no to weakness. It's built in silence, in sweat, in solitude. And the moment you stop lying to yourself and start doing the hard things consistently, your chains begin to break. But be warned, freedom comes with enemies. People will hate you for it. Weak minds are threatened by strong ones. The system will try to shame you, mock you, silence you. They'll say you're arrogant, aggressive, even dangerous. Let them. Let the sheep bark while the wolf hunts. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be free. So remember this: every comfort you cling to is a chain. Every excuse you make is a wall. Every lie you believe is a lock. If you want out, you have to burn it all down. No one's handing you the keys. You earn them. Through sacrifice, through truth, through ruthless self-mastery. That's the only way to live on your feet instead of dying on your knees. The moment you accept that failure is inevitable, you begin to dismantle the fear that holds you back. Failure is not the enemy, comfort is. Failure is the test you need to pass if you want to grow, evolve, and break free from the matrix's grip. Every successful person you admire has been beaten down, rejected, and humiliated more times than you can count. But here's the crucial difference: they didn't let those failures define them. They used every setback as fuel to push harder, to learn faster, to come back stronger. The Matrix wants you to fear failure because fear keeps you paralyzed. It makes you stay in jobs you hate, in relationships that drain you, in routines that kill your spirit. It convinces you to settle, to be realistic, to avoid risks. But the truth is, failing fast and failing forward is the only way to truly succeed. Every mistake is a lesson disguised as pain. Every rejection is a redirection. The people who are winning right now aren't those who never failed. They're those who learn to fail better. Look around and you'll see millions of people stuck because they're terrified to lose. They're scared to take a chance. They want guarantees. But life doesn't work that way. Life rewards those who dare to risk everything because they know that losing is just a step on the path to winning. When you stop fearing failure, you stop living cautiously. You start taking ownership of your future. You start creating opportunities instead of waiting for them. Failure teaches resilience. It sharpens your mind and thickens your skin. It separates those who dream from those who do. And it exposes the weak, those who crumble under pressure, and those who rise in spite of it. The Matrix feeds you lies that failure means you're not good enough, that you should give up, that you should stick to the safe path. But all those lies are designed to keep you average, to keep you small, to keep you a follower. The harsh reality is this: if you never fail, you're not pushing hard enough. You're not challenging your limits. You're not evolving. You're stuck in a loop of mediocrity. Failure is your initiation into the elite. It's the storm you have to survive to reach the summit. And if you learn to love the storm, to dance in the rain of setbacks and criticism, you become unstoppable. So next time you're afraid to try, remember this: failure is freedom disguised as pain. It's the price you pay for growth. It's the Matrix trying to trap you in a false sense of safety. Reject that trap. Embrace failure. Fail fast, fail forward, and fail strong. Because on the other side of fear is your true power, your real potential, and the freedom you were born to claim. Most people live their lives running on autopilot, trapped in routines they didn't consciously choose. They follow the path laid out by the Matrix, a path designed to keep you compliant, distracted, and small. You wake up, work a job you hate, consume mindless entertainment, and repeat. It's a cycle so familiar, so comfortable, that you don't even realize you're living someone else's life. But here's the brutal truth: no real success, no real freedom ever comes from living passively. You are the architect of your life. But the Matrix wants to keep your blueprints hidden. It wants you to follow the crowd, accept limitations, and believe that this is just how it is. But that's a lie. You can break free by becoming conscious, by choosing every day how you act, what you focus on, and who you become. You must wake up mentally before you can wake up physically. Most people never reach this stage because it requires brutal self-awareness, relentless discipline, and the courage to question everything. Living consciously means taking responsibility for every choice, every thought, every action. No more blaming the system, no more excuses. The Matrix is not your enemy, it's your challenge. It's the test of your willpower, intelligence, and character. And when you refuse to be a pawn, when you start thinking for yourself, that's when the real game begins. The Matrix fears awareness because awareness means power. The journey to consciousness is painful. You'll face loneliness, doubt, and resistance, not from others, but from within. Your old habits will fight to keep you comfortable. Your mind will resist change, and the fear of the unknown will try to paralyze you. But the alternative is far worse: a lifetime of regret, mediocrity, and silence. When you become conscious, you reclaim your power. You design your destiny instead of letting it happen to you. You don't wait for permission. You take what's yours. Remember, every breakthrough starts with awareness. Without it, you're just sleepwalking through life. The moment you realize you've been living on autopilot, you take the first step toward freedom. It's not easy. No one said it would be. But the Matrix can't hold someone who refuses to be controlled. So get conscious. Question everything. Own your life with every fiber of your being. That's how you win. Discipline isn't some vague concept reserved for monks or elite athletes. It's the cornerstone of freedom and power. Yet the Matrix wants you to believe it's optional, painful, and boring. That's a deliberate lie designed to keep you weak and dependent. The truth is, discipline is your greatest weapon. It's the muscle that allows you to conquer your mind, control your emotions, and dominate your environment. Without discipline, you're a leaf in the wind, tossed around by every distraction and impulse. Discipline means doing what must be done, even when you don't feel like it. It means showing up every day, grinding through the pain and fatigue, ignoring the excuses your mind throws at you. It's about creating rituals and habits that push you forward relentlessly. The Matrix hates discipline because it breaks the chains of instant gratification and laziness. It forces you to prioritize long-term gains over short-term comfort, and that's where true power lies. When you develop discipline, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You take control of your time, your energy, and your results. You no longer wait for motivation or external validation because discipline is consistent action regardless of feeling. It's what separates those who talk about success from those who achieve it. Everyone has the same 24 hours, but disciplined people turn those hours into unstoppable momentum. The key is to start small and build momentum. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Discipline grows with every decision you make to resist temptation and focus on what matters. When you say no to distractions, you say yes to your future. When you push through resistance, you're training your willpower. And with enough reps, discipline becomes automatic. It becomes your default state. At that point, you're no longer controlled by the matrix's manipulations. You control yourself. Remember, discipline isn't about punishment. It's about respect. Respect for your goals, your potential, and your time. It's the foundation that allows you to create the life you want, free from the distractions and lies the matrix feeds you daily. If you want real power, real freedom, start by mastering discipline. Because without it, you're nothing more than a puppet waiting for the strings to be pulled.